Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to discuss my experience with studying in the UK. I was thinking about people starting uni in September and it's approaching very fast, and I was thinking of videos I could do, and I kind of wanted to discuss like my first experience with uni, but obviously university in the Netherlands and over here in the UK is very different. I'm more than happy to do a video on what my experience was like studying in the Netherlands, but for this video I'm gonna keep it in the UK and I'll tell you my experience. The first thing I want to kind of touch on is making friends, and I was very lucky in the sense that I came to the UK with two of my best friends, and so for me it was never scary to like, oh, what if I'm not going to make friends, because I already had people to fall back on. Obviously I still wanted to make new friends, and like I'm not gonna isolate myself because I've got two people. I'm quite an introverted person and I can be quite shy. It depends a bit on the situation. I can be quite outgoing sometimes, but overall I'm quite shy, I'm quite introverted and a bit quiet. I do recommend that even if you do know people when you go to uni, do make an effort in meeting new people and making new friends, because that's like part of the experience and that's gonna make your uni experience so much better. Knowing that I had two people I could fall back on really made me more relaxed about the whole situation. So I do want to kind of like mention that, because it wouldn't be fair for me to be like, oh yeah, it was super easy, when in fact like I know that it would have been a bit harder. I still think I would have been fine, more than fine, but it would have been a bit harder if I was just there by myself, if that makes sense. I remember moving into halls and not really knowing what I got myself into. It's always interesting moving into halls with other people, and I'll touch on this a bit more later on, but as for the flatmates part, it's always a bit tricky. Like, you don't know who your flatmates are going to be and what they're going to be like. I wasn't quite sure, but honestly studying in the UK is probably the best thing I've done in my life so far, and I truly mean that. And the first month or so was a bit of a whirlwind. I met so many new people and we did loads of fun things. Even in my flat we did flat dinners, and we did a Christmas dinner as well and a Christmas party. One of my best friends was in a flat kind of like above my flat, so we were in that flat a lot as well. We had movie nights and we had dinner together, things like that. And there were also lots of parties and flat parties and nights out, but I kind of want to touch on this and show you guys that even if you don't like going out, there's a lot you can do, and people are keen to do that. Because even if you take away the nights out and the flat parties, I hung out with these people pretty much every single day and it was great. Like, we did stuff all the time, and yeah, it was a really good time. And I can truly say that I've met some of the best people I know and they're still good friends to date. So moving into a student flat was my first time moving into student accommodation and kind of moving out of home as well, so I really didn't know what to expect. I was a bit nervous about what my flatmates would be like, and as I said, they were lovely, so luckily that was all good. I have to say, like, when we drove on campus and we drove past the new builds, I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing. And then we got to our accommodation, which was one of the oldest ones, and oh, I don't know the oldest ones, but one of the older ones anyway, and I was like, oh okay, I guess I can make this work. But yeah, it wasn't as nice looking as the newer ones, obviously, and I was a bit disappointed when I arrived. I was like, oh, is this it? Like, really? But looking back, I can honestly say, like, I stayed in the new ones for my masters and I had such a better time in the old ones. I don't know what it is, like, the old ones have a lot of character and the new ones kind of felt like a hotel almost, because it's very much, you have an ensuite and like it's very big and the walls are very thick, which is all very nice. Like, it's all very nice and luxurious. Like, I've nothing to complain about, but I can see why people that don't really have friends yet would feel quite isolated in that kind of situation, because in the older ones, like, you share your bathroom, which a lot of people are scared to share bathrooms, but honestly, like, I personally don't have any problem with that, and I think it's kind of like a bonding experience with your flatmates, and I think that gives you a lot more opportunity to be social. The whole flat becomes more of a social hub if you just have your bedroom and the rest you have to share. I kind of just want you guys not to worry about the accommodation you're in, and also want you guys to know that you can always change. Sometimes it's a bit harder than other times, but if you are in a really bad situation and you want to get out of your flat, you can. Like, you're not there, like you're not in prison, so you can go speak to your accommodation or speak to people, and you could change flats. There's people that start the semester at home and then move into a flat, or they start in a flat and they move back home because it's close enough, or they move in a different flat or things like that. Like, those things are normal, they can happen, and don't think that you have to put up with something the whole year. Like, moving in, I wasn't really afraid of getting on with my flatmates because, as I said, I was coming there with 2 people I could fall back on anyway, and also we had set up a group chat on Facebook Messenger, so I kind of knew them already before moving in, so that was really nice, and as I said, they turned out to be lovely people. And then last but not least, and this was probably the one thing I was most afraid about, is the academic side of things. Now, in the Netherlands, like, it was way different. When I did my bachelor's degree in the Netherlands, I had uni probably every single day, 9 to 5-ish. It varies a little bit, but as a rough thing, probably uni every day from 9 to 5. I had a lot of different subjects, a lot of different classes. I remember, like, one term I had 14 exams in 2 weeks, so it was a lot. It was manageable, but it was a lot. When I came here, the first difference was that I only had class 3 times a week, and that was like maybe 2 hours in a day, so I had a lot of free time on my hands, and also there was a lot of like self-study involved, which in the Netherlands my experience was more like, it was kind of like just a little step up from high school, wasn't too much or like too different. And I guess this can be quite intimidating because you do have a lot of free time, and you're the one that kind of has to plan when you're going to do your coursework and like your reading and your essays and things like that. So it really comes down to you and how you plan. Now, I'm quite an organized person, but I'm also quite lazy, so it's really easy to just watch Netflix all day and not do anything for uni. But you really have to learn to be like disciplined, and I mean, of course there is still time to watch Netflix, obviously, but yeah, you do have to be quite disciplined because you just do have a lot of free time on your hands, and you're the one kind of having to schedule when you're going to do things. Here's the thing I was really worried about. Even though my degree back in the Netherlands was taught in English, I've never written an essay in my life. And obviously, well, not obviously, but if you study in the UK, essays are involved at some point. My modules were all like, all the testing was coursework, they were all essays. So I was a bit worried when I came here because I was like, okay, this is new, and I did struggle a little bit because before when I came here for the very first time, I literally had never written an essay or anything academic like that, and I don't consider myself to be a super academic person, and yeah, I was worried, to say the least. I did struggle a little bit, and it did take me a while to kind of get into it and kind of understand what lecturers were looking for in an essay. It really helped me kind of prep for when I did write my dissertation in my bachelor's degree. And then when I came back here for my master's, I think I was really like in the swing of it, and I could write essays pretty well, I guess, and I'm really happy that I managed to like learn how to do that, even though that was definitely something that scared me. I'd even bought like a little booklet, like how to write essays 101, because I was that scared. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this, but it's going to be fine. It was fine. So overall, as you can tell, I had a great experience. I still look back to studying in the UK as one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I've grown a lot from it, I've learned a lot from it. I've had my ups and downs like any other person, like it's natural to have your ups and downs, but I wouldn't change anything in my experience. So if you're about to start uni, all I want to say is try not to worry too much beforehand, because that's what I did. I didn't need to. Like, you don't need to worry about it. I know that going into something that you've never experienced before and having to make new friends and things like that is very scary. Like, I feel you, I really do, but you're gonna be fine. And during freshers, at least at my uni, I know there's like lots of different activities, from just having like an organised coffee by the union to drag shows and themed parties. There's something for everyone, so even if you don't like the whole party scene, there are opportunities for you to meet new people in an organised setting as well. There's also lots of support available from the university as well, so if you're struggling with anything, don't be afraid to talk to someone. Just talk to anyone and they'll point you in the right direction. If you're struggling with anything, even if it's like budgeting or I don't know, anything at all, don't be afraid to speak up and ask for help, because people are there to help you and they will. So yeah, don't be afraid to speak up, even if it's in an email, because maybe face-to-face is too much, but just send an email. That's the first thing you can do. So I don't want this video to be too long, so if you've got any questions about starting university, anything at all, or about university life in general, please leave them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can with my experience or my tips. I really hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful and I hope to see you soon. Bye guys.